In our discussion of the Illuminati, we want to also, when talking about the dollar bill and the symbol on the back of the dollar bill, let me read to you from the congressional report published by the Congress of the United States, a congressional report, which we will be happy to provide you with if you'd like a copy. Talks about steps toward a British Union, a world state, and international strife. International strife is very much concerned with a world state and British Union. As we brought out before, Britain is referred to as God's kingdom, the United Kingdom. International strife, which is happening throughout the world, is part and parcel of preparing the world for God's United Kingdom. And America is playing its part. That, incidentally, as I think I mentioned before, provides the basis for racism in the world today. God's kingdom, of course, coming through Britain and America. America being ruled from the White House. England being God's chosen to sit on Jehovah's throne for Jesus, provides the world with a convenient racist philosophy. And then we wonder in this country why the rest of the world doesn't seem to care for America a lot. There's a lot that we should know concerning the symbols on the dollar bill. Let me go to this congressional report published back in 1940. It says on page 13, "Let me call your attention to the fact that on the reverse of the Great Seal of the United States, which appears on our dollar bills, you will find the exact symbol of the British Israel World Federation. This symbol is also carried on literature of other organizations promoting a world government and a world religion. At the bottom of the circle surrounding the pyramid, you will find the wording Novus Ordo Seclorum. It was this new order that was advocated by Clinton Roosevelt several hundred years ago, and recently in Philip Drew, and now followed by the executive." We understand that this whole concept of a new world order is a revolutionary idea developed out of occult Freemasonry. I want to go back to the introduction of Fire in the Minds of Men and lay the foundation for something that I think you're going to find very interesting. Again, we want to requote from page 6 in the introduction. It says, "A reoccurrent mythic model for revolutionaries, early romantics, and young Karl Marx and the Russians of Lenin's time was Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods for the use of mankind. The Promethean faith of revolutionaries resembles in many respects the general modern belief that science would lead men out of darkness into light." It's interesting that in New York City, in Rockefeller Plaza, at the very entrance to Rockefeller Plaza is an enormous statue of Prometheus. How appropriate. And when one understands how the Soviet Communist Party is financed, organized, and directed out of New York, then it will not be any great mystery as to why in front of Rockefeller Plaza we have the god Prometheus. James Billington, in his book Fire in the Minds of Men, explains that that is a symbol for the world revolutionaries. But it goes on to say in the introduction, "But there was also a more pointed and millennial assumption that there was a millennium coming, a new world order, a millennium, a 1,000-year reign, so to speak. A more pointed millennial assumption that on the new day that was dawning, the sun would never set. Early in the French upheaval was born the solar myth of revolution, suggesting that the sun was rising on a new era." This whole idea of the sun rising on a new era, the new dawn, the millennial assumption, we can see this openly being used today by our president in such newspaper clippings as the New World Order and how the world is now being formed into a new world order. we want to talk about that and what that means for you. As a matter of fact, here in the Daily News in our hometown, Bush urges unity and crises. Beneath it, it says, he sees the Gulf as a test of the New World Order. That New World Order is on the bottom of the dollar bill. It's on the bottom of the pyramid that's on the dollar bill. It's an interesting concept, and it's one that you should know about, because what is going on in the Middle East right now is part and parcel of a Masonic movement. Freemasonry has made arrangements to organize, direct, finance, and control different segments of society in our country and throughout the world. They have realized that in this country, black movements are moving into mainstream America. Therefore, the need arises for black leaders to be able to fall in line, to go along, to get along. And some of the black Freemasons that have been accepted into the order is, for instance, is Jesse Jackson, Andy Young, mayor of Atlanta, Kenneth Gibson, three-time mayor of the city of Newark, New Jersey, the late Harold Washington, mayor of Chicago, State Senator Julian Bond, Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, Marion Barry, mayor of District of Columbia. We see that Freemasonry uses all races to accomplish its objectives. In Freemasonry in Europe, the groups were called circles, and you had your circle of friends. There were 5 circles of friends, America being one of them. Italy, France, Germany, England, and America. The 5 circles of friends. They were called in the European Freemasonry the Olympiads, so that today the Olympiad organization symbol is 5 circles, the 5 Masonic circles of friends. Of course, the Audi has only 4 circles because America's not included in that project. The circles were, of course, the circle of friends in the Masonic League. The other symbols on Freemasonry, the torch, of course, the Olympic torch is the torch of Prometheus, the god who stole fire for the service of man. And as we said in New York, in front of Rockefeller Plaza, you'll see the statue of Prometheus. In his hand is a flame, the torch, the fire of revolution. The dime, of course, on the Mercury head dime, in the back of the dime, you'll find the torch of illumination. It's still there today. The modern American dime has the torch of illumination. The Statue of Liberty has the torch. Of course, in all universities and colleges, we find in their symbols and emblems of universities have torches standing for illumination of the Illuminati. As a matter of fact, when you are graduate from a university, you become an alumni, which is taken from, obviously, Illuminati. You become an Illuminati. You become illuminated when you go to a university. Let's see, the torch is also used in Amoco oil, the B'nai B'rith, Crises magazine for blacks. It is found many, many places. Chevrolet, just this year, in its Saffron division of General Motors, is putting out its aluminum car, not aluminum, but Illumin car from the Illuminati. Of course, when you go to college and university, or even graduate from high school, you come out with as we said, a black robe, which is black for Saturn, the god of Hebrews, and the square mortarboard. The square mortarboard is, of course, Freemasons use mortarboards for their plaster. So that's why you wear a square mortarboard when you become an alumni. It all has to do with Freemasonry. It all has to do with the control of education in this country, the control of our religious thinking, our minds, our government, our money, our lives. Everything from your corner drugstore is influenced by Freemasonry, secret societies, occult orders, and politics of the scientific kind.
Who says the everyday has to be so everyday? Experience the amazing everyday. New Nokia Lumia.